Welcome to episode 95 of the Thrash Report. This is your weekly music commentary podcast. We discuss all things metal and heavy music. My name is Chris, and joining me, my co-host, Jim Osborne. Jim, how's it going, man?
Hello, Chris. It is a good evening. How are you?
It is a good evening. We have a very special guest with us this week.
Yes, we do. 1/3 of the band Pursuit, Mr. Wyatt Schirrick. What's up, man?
Hello, everyone.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited for this show. This will be fun.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, you guys are always really fun to listen to. I was talking to Chris earlier. You guys are on like my regular diet of podcasts. It's
Awesome.
You guys listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, the Monday Morning Podcast with Bill Burr. Joey Diaz has a podcast, Your Mom's House with Tom Segura. I like
That's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Again, we appreciate the support. I saw that Dave Mustaine was on Joe Rogan today.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I want to first thank you so much for joining. We had the pleasure of having you on here a few episodes back, episode 77, where we were talking about you going into the studio.
Mhm.
February 9th, that was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Long time ago.
And so now you get to talk about the fruits of your labor.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Well,
so you have a new album.
Yep.
That
Nice.
is on its way, and I am
Absolutely.
really excited to hear about it.
I've got it stowed away on my shelf. The CDs
Oh.
are here.
Nice.
So, if you haven't already, you guys just send me your address. I'll send you guys some. But everyone else, pre-order these
Hell yeah.
on Bandcamp. There's the back with the track listing and whatnot.
Dude,
Sweet.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like so bizarre
Oh,
to work as hard. It's just weird to like work so hard on something and then be able to like hold it in your hand. Like the first thing I did, I showed my girlfriend like, "Hey, I made this. Like this is, I was a part of this. It was really cool." So you said February was the last time I was on the podcast, right?
Yep, February
Mhm.
9th.
We went into the studio. We met with Will of Plague of Stars and Coffin Rites, who we've done a couple shows with
Mhm.
him. His studio, 1459 Studios, at the end of April, beginning of May. We got in there end of April. I think we were in the studio for a total of 4 days, 3 or 4 days total. We were able to track all the drums in like a day and a half, set up, get tones and everything. And basically the very next weekend we had shows ready and we were booked and ready to go. We had a handful of shows in May, handful of shows in June. We only ended up with one show in July, and August we've spent a lot of time getting our set down and ready. We've even started writing some new material.
wow.
And we're getting prepared for this album released on September 1st. I've been doing a lot of work trying to get promotion out, sending out for reviews, stuff like that, sending out our EPK to anyone who's willing to listen to it.
That's awesome. I was gonna say, like we talked about before, Jim, we got to have his people talk to our people, and we can help
That's correct.
spread the word.
For sure.
And we've got I forget, he plays in Cymothwa out of the cities, but he's the one that he did the artwork for it. All the proper credits and whatnot are on Bandcamp. It kind of lays out everyone.
It's Justin.
Correct. Yep.
I forget how to pronounce his last name. It's like Beanie.
Yeah.
He does a ton of work for a lot of bands. Great stuff.
Yeah, we're all really like the actual artwork itself. Once me and the other two dudes, Henry and Dalton, saw it, we're like, that's it right there, because it's not just another thrash metal album where it's a ripoff from the 80s, and it's not a bunch of dead naked ladies on a cover. Like it's got some perspective to it, it's got some depth to it. It's red, so that's cool. And it's just I'm really happy with how the sound of this album turned out, the artwork itself, working with Henry and Dalton writing songs, because we're able to kind of meld in such a way that none of us have egos when it comes to writing songs. Like, hey, I wrote this guitar riff, it has to be like this. You know, we're able to kind of go back and forth and be like, you know, what if we did it here instead of here? What if we tried this riff instead? What if we tried this drum part instead? Dalton and Henry are always challenging me with my drums and vice versa. It's really cool. It's a really cool process.
That's awesome. To me, it's still remarkable that, you know, you could get all of that done only in 3 or 4 days. It seems.
Yeah, it was stressful. Trust me. We didn't come in with scratch tracks. We knew what we wanted for tempos and whatnot. So we recorded the scratch tracks live in the studio, and then I would do a couple of takes of each song until we got it down the way we wanted it to. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. We were able to get all the drums done, all the bass done, and all the rhythm guitar parts. And then Henry and Dalton recorded the guitar solos and vocals at Henry's place.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What kind of approach did you take when it comes to actually like getting the sound, like doing the mixing and stuff like that? When you kind of looked at it, what are some differences or things that you've done in the past that you changed this time?
So I'll answer the first question. When it comes to like mixing and whatnot, whenever what we did is we started off with that single that we released, The Cold Grip of Hypocrisy. Henry really dialed in what we were looking for. And I was trying to, when I was listening through, and is it able to fill up the entire sort of atmosphere sonically? One of my favorite artists is Stevie Ray Vaughan, and whether you're listening to a live recording of his or a studio recording, there isn't like a square inch left in the space. It fills up absolutely everything. So that's what I was kind of looking for. Also making sure that it doesn't sound, you know, it's one of my favorite albums, but it doesn't sound like And Justice for All, where it sounds like there's 2 dudes in the band, you know?
Right.
You gotta make sure there's that sort of balance. But what's really unique about this album is Dalton's bass comes out really clean, and it's not overpowering, but it's also not like, you know, way back there.
Right.
It's good balance and making sure that it fills up everything.
You know, some of the previous material, how has it changed? How is it different this time? I mean, you mentioned, is it because you're like more collaboratively in the writing process and that type of thing?
Yeah, for sure. We were able to, we had more time with the material, and we were able to really nail down like, hey, this bit wasn't as tight as it should be. Let's go and redo that. You know, take a really good, strong take. We had done a live EP last May, and it was, you know, set up, let's play a couple songs and, you know, get out of there. With this, you know, relatively, it wasn't a whole heck of a lot of time, but it sure felt like it was a long time sitting in that studio recording everything. Mm-hmm. And just being able to challenge ourselves and then challenge the other people in the band, like, hey, this could be a little bit better. This was really cool. I really like this take. I really like this fill. I really like that riff. If I were to do it over again, we would come into the studio with our scratch tracks prepared. That way we can just kind of knock them out and spend a bit more time on that sort of stuff.
Cool. You mentioned this was done at the same place you did that live recording. Where was this one done?
1459 Studios with Will from Coffin Rites and Plague of Stars.
Got it.
And I had done, so I played drums in a band called Thrallfrost, and then I was also, there is a punk project that I was a part of called Idiot Manchild. And just 2 different, like, I'm trying to like cover my bases with all my genres apparently, because I'm in a black metal band and I did a punk project, and now I've done a thrash metal project, you know. And I suppose with those, it was more just, you know, we had a click track, and we had, well, for the Thrallfrost stuff, it was a couple of those recordings was just me playing to memory to a click track. So definitely making sure things are properly done. And then with the Idiot Man Child stuff, it was very much a click track with a guitar track, and that's like the way to go as far as I'm concerned. You know, there's
Sure.
some people out there like, oh, why would you record with a click track? Doesn't it take away from the humanity of stuff? And you know, it's a tool that can be used. And
Sure.
if you let R2D2 play the drums, as Glenn Fricker would say, then you could lose the humanity of it. But as far as I'm concerned, like playing to a metronome is the way to go. Maybe not in a live setting, but certainly in the studio to make sure everything is consistent.
Sure.
So that's my ignorance. I don't know. Is a click track, is that the same as a metronome? Or is it
Correct.
same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And what they'll do is think of it as like an MP3 or WAV format that plays in the they call it a DAW, or as a digital audio workplace. I forget, but it plays along as you're recording. And the thing I've learned with playing to a metronome is that if you can't hear it, you're on the beat, which is
That makes
weird,
sense.
like intuitively it shouldn't make sense, but I practice to a metronome all the time, and
Yeah.
it happens every time. If I can't hear that click, I know I'm right on the beat.
That's cool.
Yeah, makes sense.
See, I'm learning so much. We gotta have Wyatt on more often.
Thanks. Yeah, I got 2 degrees, so yeah, I could probably talk a lot.
That's awesome. You have 2 degrees in music?
Yeah, I have a degree in civil engineering, and I have a degree in philosophy, both from the North Dakota State University.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
And I'm a land surveyor, so we're gonna put our land surveyor / engineer thing to the side and just get along for an hour.
Yeah, Jim and I will go in. We'll build a complex, a recording studio / practice place / venue. He'll survey, I'll
awesome.
design it. Good to go.
That's awesome.
I was gonna ask you about that. If you're, being a civil engineer, if you kind of build songs kind of on the same wave, like the same thought process as you would design something like a cityscape or something, if you look at a song the same way at all?
Yeah, for sure. I suppose the one thing that I clash a lot with Henry and Dalton is they'll like play a riff and they'll be like, yeah, it goes like this, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. So what I get to do is I'll sit at home and I'll write it out. That's something new that we're working on. And when it comes to engineering, making sure that everything's on paper. Can I see it? Can I work with it with my hands instead of just thinking about it or seeing it? I think it's a big right brain, left brain sort of ordeal, and just different approaches to it. The other thing we do is we record a lot of our practices, and so I'll listen to it over and over and over and over again.
Just gotta make sure it all flows, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
In both.
I listen to a lot of metal when I'm doing a lot of quantity calcs. I listen to a lot of Dillinger Escape Plan when I'm getting really deep into it. That's when I know I need to like take a break. Is when I'm in the middle of an album like Miss Machine, like we're getting into it, man.
That's awesome. I was gonna say, so if you guys build this awesome complex, what's my job? What am I gonna do?
You get to run the
IT.
social media side of it. Yeah, IT and social media.
Oh, yeah, I'll be IT. I can do merch.
There you go.
I'll do
Yeah,
merch.
we need a good marketing team.
So again, I'm super excited. Your album comes out September 1st.
September 1st. Yeah, we only have CDs right now. I'm an audiophile and I'm a vinyl junkie. So if I could have gotten this thing pressed on vinyl, like I 100% would, but just the upfront cost, and we would have had to have had this album done last summer in order to get vinyl like next week. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy. My understanding too is like there aren't many places now that still can press vinyl, right? I mean, you're limited on where you can go and have that done.
correct. Yeah, there's a new place in Minnesota now, and they were the ones that pressed the CDs. It was Copycats. I guess they own a new pressing brand. Third Man Records, Jack White's record label.
Yep.
They'll press stuff for people. There's a couple of independent spots that'll do it. Or hold on just one second. I'll be right back.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well.
You could take this break to mention what we're doing this weekend.
Oh,
11th annual Dime Stock, Wisconsin's tribute to Pantera.
yes, we will be at Dime Stock, and I encourage.
Very excited.
Yeah, if anyone is attending Dime Stock, make sure you stop by. It's going to be super fun.
Got some Pantera trivia for you.
We have Thrash Report drawstring backpacks.
Very nice.
We have a whole crap ton of stickers.
To stick on things.
Yeah, if I was able to finance it and get the upfront cost, like totally. I don't know if you guys are fans of the band Sleep, but there's going to be a new edition of Dope Smoker coming out on Friday.
I saw that.
And exclusive to just the Detroit location. They're pressing the new album with cannabis leaves. They can't ship it anywhere. So if anyone's listening in Detroit, if you want to pick me up a copy, I'll pay you.
That's awesome. So you again, you've been really busy. Leading up to this release. Again, working with getting shows booked. You said you had handfuls of shows right after you got done recording, but now you're prepping and getting ready for this tour coming up. Tell everybody about this tour that's coming up.
Yeah, we've got our first show is going to be September 18th at the NORTHSTAR bar, and then we've made a run. It's going to be St. Paul, Des Moines, Kansas City, St. Louis, Milwaukee, Madison. And then our show in Chicago got canceled, so that's where Jim comes in. Him and I are working together, trying to get a show booked, and hopefully we can announce it properly at some point. But yeah, we got 6 out of 7 dates booked for a tour. This is the third time I've tried to book a week-long tour for one of my bands, and it's actually like coming pretty good, to fruition, which is really neat. It's really stressful, but at the same time, when we drove out to Chicago, we drove from Fargo to Chicago overnight. We got into Chicago and we were like, I can't believe we're just kind of like doing this, it was pretty nuts. But when you get to the venue and you actually get to play in front of people, it's really cool. It's really cool to get to go places kind of out of your comfort zone and do this sort of thing. And I've talked to people about this before, like, yeah, I just came back from driving 8 hours and in a van with 3 other smelly dudes, but like if I could do it again tomorrow, I would,
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. And my whole thing is, I'm young now. I'm 25. Next week I'm going to be 50, and a month from now I'll be 90. So I might as well get it out of the way now. Do it as much as I can while I'm still at it.
And speaking of your live show, I know I spoke many times back after we saw you in December, just how I was not expecting the energy and how awesome you guys were. Like just within the first 10 seconds, I was already blown away. So I'm curious if you think you captured that energy on the new album.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All 3 of us really gave it our all. And we've got a guest vocal spot from Garrett Alvarado of Mall.
He's
on the album too.
He's
so just
badass.
having him be a part of it. I've known Garrett since I first moved to Fargo. He was in a band called A Day of Plague, which was this deathcore band that was they were interesting deathcore from middle of Minnesota out of Bemidji. But I've known him since 7 years. I remember when he formed Mall. I was at their first show. I was just at their record release show on Sunday. So just being able to that's a guy I know. He's my buddy. I get to share a scene with him, and we all really work hard to get this art out to people just so they can listen to it. I think we really captured this moment in time in the Fargo music scene.
That's awesome.
Yeah, can't wait to hear the rest of it. I've heard the single you've released already. I've listened to it a bunch. The Scourge of Humanity. It's I wasn't really sure how to, I guess, classify it. I know it's kind of got a bunch of different elements in it. I mean, it's not just a straight up thrash in your face. It's, I don't know, it's got a bunch of different things to it going on. It's pretty
And
cool.
That's kind of the focus. If you guys ever listen to Henry's the previous iterations of this band, it was kind of a goofy punk band. I saw Pursuit of Cash and POC before I joined the band, so I knew what, not necessarily what we were up against, but I knew that we had certainly a shift in focus. And Dalton brings a lot of really cool elements to this band. He listens to bands like Viltjarta and Meshuggah and Humanity's Last Breath, Car Bomb. And then I listen to a lot of black metal. I listen to a lot of progressive stuff. And just being able to meld kind of all that together. My whole thing is I don't want to be another like pizza thrash band or a cheeseburger death metal band. Like I want to be able to kind of break out and make something a bit more unique, you know?
Sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Again, like I said, I have the September 18th show on my calendar, and hey, it's in my backyard. So,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to being there. It'll be good.
It'll be a lot of fun. Volsunga Saga is going to be on that bill. We've done a show with them before. And then Agony Reigns are on the bill. Both those bands kick ass. We've done shows with them before. And we've done shows down in the cities before. So it's all ages, if anyone's curious about that. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Just the one in the cities or the whole tour?
Most of the tour is going to be all ages.
That's very awesome. And if we don't get a show set up, I'll probably see you in Madison.
That'd be really tight. I hope we're able to get that worked out, Jim. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I think we can. Update coming. Big things coming soon.
Dude, I'm in the dark, dude. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Dude, you're supposed to be texting me when this shit goes down.
I can't text you and I'm busy texting with Wyatt.
Yeah, and like, you know, stuff like last weekend where you're like, oh, by the way, Gorgatron is going to spend the night at my place. It's like, oh, okay.
I thought you'd want to know this. I'm having
He's like
friends
Mr.
over.
Fancy Pants.
Yeah, great coupon over here.
Dude, no, I mean, if there's someone that is metal hospitality, it is Jim Osborne. So that's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, that just kind of happened. I saw they were coming to town and I was home alone that night and thought, hey guys, want to come over? So they came. We ate pizza. We drank some beers.
I was just in my head. I was just thinking like you're gonna be like playing D&D and like Sega and shit.
No, it was pretty chill. We just hung out and chatted and.
You know, if I gotta say one thing, Matt Johnson from Gorgatron, that dude works hard. I think he's in 3 or 4 different bands. He was just in Colombia with Rotten S and has another tour with them coming up. Like that dude's just killer. He's such a cool dude. And you know, same sort of deal. The fact that I get to know him and kind of learn from him is the best.
That is awesome.
I'm watching him.
That's awesome. So I definitely want to make sure that we talked about kind of the tour coming up, but I also want to, just before we forget, I want to make sure that when people want to know more about Pursuit and get all the information, where would you recommend our listeners go to get all there is when it comes to Pursuit? Yeah,
we've got a Facebook page, we've got an Instagram page, we got a Twitter that we've been building up the last couple of weeks. And we also have a Bandcamp page. If anyone isn't familiar with Bandcamp, it's one of the best for independent artists. And then we're going to be having all of our stuff on streaming as well. We've got a distribution network set up for that. So Spotify, Apple Music, everything's going to be on those distribution networks as well. So if you're on one or all of them, like give us a follow. That'd be really cool. That's the best way to kind of get in the know. We've got a Linktree. So you ever see people link in the bio? Link in the bio. That's where you get to find all our cool stuff. Haven't figured out a YouTube channel yet, so maybe that'll come in the future if people want it. I don't know. We record all our live sets for Game Tape, so we can kind of watch it afterwards. So
Yeah,
maybe that would be a cool spot for that.
that'd be
Makes
cool.
sense.
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, Jim, there's an awful lot of, great groups that, again, we get stuff or we see people share on Facebook. So I think it's a
Mhm.
great opportunity for us to also share this release to all those, the
Yep.
world of metal and shit like that. Right.
Yep, the Facebook page, the new wave of thrash metal, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm always trying to make sure I share stuff there and trying to catch like new releases.
That's awesome. And then, so we talked a little bit, was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. Basically, I slept on Whacking tickets and they were broke a record. They sold out. And you posted a little nugget on Facebook saying that
just about you big. Just about.
So is it true? Are you going to Whacking in 2023?
I am. Yes. Me and my buddy that came with to San Francisco to see Metallica. You guys met him?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's coming with me. We're going to fucking Germany next year.
Dude, that is
And,
killer.
I was late to band practice that day, but it was worth it. The website crashed like a ton of times. He lives in Rochester right now, so I was on the phone with him like, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. And then the website loaded. It said your number 25,312 in line. I was like, think about that, dude. 25,000 other people are ahead of us from around the world.
Yeah.
And it's been something I've been saving up for like the last couple of years. Like, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to this at some point. And then I texted my buddy Henry, like, hey, you want to go to Germany next year for this metal festival? He's like, let's do it. And that's essentially what happened. I thought tickets weren't going to go on sale for a while. And they're like, hey, by the way, they're on sale on this Sunday. I was like,
Right.
oh shit, we got to figure this out now. So yeah, like the order went through. I got the confirmation email and I lost my shit. I like tore up my house. And
Is
then I
there,
went to
so
band practice.
explain to me, this is one thing I think I'm just a little apprehensive too, right? I've never been to Germany. And so
Ditto. Yeah.
it's like, it's almost like I would need someone that has done it before or like that specializes in getting all the, cause like just the ground transportation, like, I mean, how are you guys going to camp and all that shit?
We haven't figured out that part yet.
Right. Exactly.
It was more so let's get these tickets and then figure out the details later. I looked at some of the information for it, and like camping is included. It's just a matter of how you kind of want to do it. And I've looked at some stuff. There's like backpacking. You can get those big backpacks, and so maybe we'll do that and just get a little tent to bring on the plane, something like that. The good part right now is that the euro and the dollar are just about the same. So we didn't get completely screwed when it comes to exchange rates or anything.
Right on. Dude,
But,
I'm excited for you, man. It's going to be a blast.
I'm really looking forward to it. They already announced a couple of bands that are playing for next year, which is like crazy. Like
Maiden's headlining.
Yeah. Iron Maiden's headlining. Ginger is playing. Deicide is doing an entire Legion set. Dropkick Murphys is going to be playing. Like, it's going to be cool.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you, man.
Viking themed too, so that'll be wild. But 80,000 tickets sold in 5 hours. I did the math. It was like $21 million in tickets.
Jesus.
Sold in 5 hours. Like, what the fuck? That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the thing is, I've told Jim, like, it is a bucket list item for me. Like, I really want to do it. And, they keep doing like every year, because I follow them on all social, like they do like improvements and construction and upgrades, and they're continually doing this year round to make sure that this is just the best experience for everybody. It's pretty awesome.
And what I liked about it is they've got a whole separate website just dedicated to buying and selling your tickets. So you don't have to go through a third-party vendor and get completely screwed on trying to scalp tickets from someone.
Right.
Like, it really shows that they've been doing this a while and want to make it better. And they even had a whole thing. It was like green Vakken, making sure that you leave the place cleaner than when you came to the site. And I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, they have a nonprofit. They really want to make it sustainable. They like all of that stuff. I mean, and again, you know, when you're there too, every morning they'll have like heavy metal yoga. They'll have like, you know, a lot of really cool different events happening while you're there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. No, I can't be any more excited. Like it's really cool. It's really cool. So now the next thing will be trying to figure out a good time to buy plane tickets. The cheapest I've found is Minneapolis to Hamburg, Germany, which is only like 40 kilometers away from Wacken. It was like $800, but like 6 months from now. So trying to time that out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait. Next summer, we're gonna have you back, and I want to hear all about Wacken.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Amon and Marth, I don't know if you guys saw this, but they played in between the two stages on top. There's a video of them. So they've got the faster stage and the harder stage or something, and they've got a section. They got a pillar in the middle, and Amon and Marth played on top of that.
I didn't see.
Nice.
That's awesome. I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I gotta ask, what was your guys' first introduction to that festival? Because I watched a documentary called Metal: A Headbanger's Journey, and that was part of it. They went to that festival in 2004. They did an infamous interview with Necro Butcher, and I saw that documentary. I must have been 13, 14. I was like, I'm going to that at some point, and it's going to be next year.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even remember.
I don't even remember. I mean, it was back when I still was reading like magazines, you know, like if you know, like Metal Maniacs or like Metal Edge or any of those. I remember. I don't know how many years has it been going on. Has it been 30 years? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think was it 91 was their first iteration of it. Yeah. I might be wrong. I forget.
Yeah.
Maybe they've been doing it 35 if you don't count the 2 years they weren't able to do it, you know, last year and the year before that.
Right,
yeah,
right.
It's just seems like it's something that's always been there in my metal journey that I've always known about. I don't remember how, but it's got to be from Hit Parade or Metal Edge back in the day.
Yeah, 1990 was their first. Okay. Yep, first show. That's crazy. And
like just about every metal band out there has played Wacken at some point or another, except for Metallica. They haven't played Wacken yet.
Really?
Yeah. But, you know, you never know.
You never know.
They did a whole big European festival run last year, so.
Well, when you get there, keep the beard, lose the glasses, dress like Rob Flynn, and get in there as Machine Head.
Yeah, right.
You got the little Rob Flynn thing going on there.
You could do that.
That's better than what I mostly get. I got Sasquatch a couple days ago. I was like, oh, cool. No one hasn't anything new yet. But I keep getting Jermaine Clement from the Flight of the Conchords. I got that a bunch of times. Or Jason Momoa. That's an ego boost, is when people call me Jason Momoa.
Yep, that's a good one.
Thanks, but I'm not that tall.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk with not only us two knuckleheads, but also just to share that Pursuit has a new album out. It'll be out September 1st on all your streaming platforms. You can go and I guess pre-save that today. And then anything else that you want to let people know of before we wrap up for today?
Yeah. The CD can be pre-ordered on Bandcamp. We got a new line of merch. We got t-shirts, we got sweatshirts, we got hats. Thrallfrost, my other band, we're going to be recording soon. Yeah, we got t-shirts. He's got one of the OG ones. I did a punk project called Idiot Manchild. That stuff is available on Bandcamp. It's just for digital right now. I'm the president of a nonprofit called The Beautiful Life Portraits. So if anyone wants to go and check that out, it's to help raise awareness for domestic violence. We believe that freedom from domestic violence is a human right, and so that's our mission statement.
That's awesome. Make sure you kick me links to that and stuff so I can add it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, other than that, I'm staying busy listening to a lot of music.
That's awesome. Before we wrap, what's that something new, like one of your favorite new something that you're listening to right now. What is it?
Favorite new something. There is a thrash death metal band from Germany called Sculpture. It's not Sculpture, it's not Scalpel, it's Sculpture. They do a really cool World War II themed metal that's not like problematic. You know, there's bands that talk about World War II, but they're on, you know, other side of things. That's no bueno. But these guys, Sculpture, they do it right, and they do a really cool, fresh take on thrash metal. They've
Sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, they're really sick. They got a Bandcamp page. They got all the social media stuff like that. They're really neat. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about, I'm seeing Rammstein on Saturday at US
Are you really?
Bank Stadium.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be cool. Yeah. And then just if anyone's not familiar, keep on checking out the Fargo Moorhead metal scene. We got Maul, got Phobophilic, got my band Pursuit. There's a new band out called Spec. They're really cool. There's a band called Euthanasia, or formerly Euthanasia, but there's a band called No Divinity. Like, there's all sorts of really cool stuff coming out of Fargo.
Gorgatron.
Wow.
Gorgatron, Gypsy Wizard Queen. What else?
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
there's
Up
a lot
there.
of really cool stuff coming out of Fargo right now.
It's what did you coin it? Something about metal from the Northern Plains or something? Northern Prairie.
Yeah,
That's
metal. That's what. Yeah, that's kind of what we brand ourselves as. Yeah, metal from the Northern Plains, Nodak metal, stuff like that.
Like Agassiz metal.
Right? Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
All
awesome.
you geology nerds.
That's right. Anyway, Wyatt, thanks again for taking time. Really appreciate you. And I want to thank everyone else for listening. We really do appreciate it. You can always find back episodes and show notes at thrashreport.com and all of our socials. We want to hear from you too. Send us an email at thethrashreport@gmail.com. And we will see you next time on the Thrash Report. See ya.